Get me that signal. We need more power. Get me that signal. We need more power.
Welcome to the Voice of E Board Game Reviews. I am your host, Elliott Miller, and today I'm looking at the Root of Corruption expansion to Thundrstone Advance from AEG. The expansion was designed by Joe Babbitt, Edward Boehm, Kurt Crane, Jeff Quick, Mark Wooten, and came out in 2012. It's for 1 to 5 players, ages 12 and up. It will take you about an hour to play, and it will cost you about $40 to pick up the expansion. AEG's description of the expansion says, "Following on the heels of Thundrstone Advance Caverns of Bane, Thunderstone emerges into the deepest trouble yet. The tunnels under the fortress of Chiadel are clear, the lost dwarven kingdom of Callaghan is reclaimed, and the Jinny Lich Motel has been defeated. Hey, what else you got to do? Sealing the portal of Black Flame into Tala. The adventurers have collected 3 more Thunderstones, and Doom's full plans are revealed. Doom! He has corrupted the heart of Tala Dun Orda. A monstrous army marches on the capital city, even as the final Thunderstone is revealed to be held by King Kalen himself. Can the adventurers race ahead of an army to save the city from a siege outside the walls and from sickly corruption within? Thunderstone Root of Corruption, the second expansion for Thundrstone Advance, introduces new challenges and an all-new way to play, co-op. It also features ruinous sin incarnates, vicious scavenger gnolls, thrall summoners to bring back memorable foes, 7 new heroes, 6 new monster groups, 15 new village cards, and a new poster map board that creates options for co-op play using existing cards and rules. What's more, all the ambusher cards from Towers of Ruin and Caverns of Bane have been reprinted with updated graphics to increase their visibility. AEG is really bringing it on in this one. There's no more Mr. Nice Fuzzy monsters that might accidentally rust your armor with all their blood once you've got your uber gear on and you've maxed out your heroes at level 3. The bad guys have been taken up a notch, and it will take some strategic planning to put these puppies down. The game features the same high-quality cards as with all the Thundrstone Advance line. You get 6 new heroes, monsters, a new summoned monster stack of 12 cards, 15 new village cards, 6 treasure cards. I like those. A guardian, a Thunderstone bearer, 4 new curse cards, and they reprinted a few of the cards from the earlier expansions. Why don't we take a closer look at the game so you can see what I'm talking about?
The game features the same high-quality cards as with all the Thundrstone Advance line. You get 6 new heroes, 6 new monster types, a new summoned monster stack of 12 cards, 15 new village cards, 6 treasure cards, a guardian, a Thunderstone bearer, 4 new curse cards, and a few reprinted cards from the earlier sets to replace some cards that were deemed difficult to read. Don't let these throw you off. I was. The first thing I did was try to sort out all the cards with the included dividers, and I could not figure out where the heck these extra cards were supposed to go. So after scratching my head for a few minutes, I actually looked at the full list of cards right on page 2 of the rules. And the reprinted cards are listed along with an explanation on page 3. There are 336 cards in total. Also included in the box is an additional map, which will enable you to play the new Siege style of play. The Siege style is a co-op play style introduced in this expansion. As far as the map goes, you'll either like it or you won't. It's a paper map. Granted, it's full color and glossy, but trying to get this sucker to stay flat enough for the cards not to migrate around it is not an easy task. It's intended to partially overlap the TA board, replacing the dungeon section with an army of monsters bearing down on the village. I just hate stuff that doesn't stay flat. Then the players still win, but the town was destroyed in the process. However, suffering through the paper map is well worth the effort. The map changes the dungeon into 3 ranks of 5 monsters each, or 4 if there's only 3 players. You'll have 45 monsters advancing on the village. The players must face them all in order to end the siege. At the start of the game, The third rank is filled with face-down monsters. After each player's turn, a single monster is flipped up. Once all the monsters in a rank are flipped up, you'll take one more turn, then the monsters advance to rank 2, and the third rank is refilled with monsters. The monsters continue to advance, and new monsters line up behind them. The players must work together to stop them before they reach the town wall. You'll have 5 experience tokens at the front of each row of monsters, and each time one or more monsters hits that wall, it loses an experience token. The monsters go away into the successful besiegers pile, and the next row of monsters keeps on coming. If a monster hits a wall with no experience tokens left in front of it, the players lose, and the monsters overrun the town. If the players survive the siege, they compare their victory points from defeated monsters against the victory points for the successful besiegers stack, adding 3 points for each missing wall token. If the players have more points, they won the day. If the monsters have more, then the players still win, but the town was destroyed in the process. So it becomes more of a yay victory than a huzzah! A few things you might not like about the siege style. The games are a bit longer than normal, at least in my experience. There's no chasing the tough monsters to the bottom of the dungeon pile. They do go away once they bash themselves against the wall, though. Although it takes up more space than a normal Thundrstone Advance game, you'll need a bigger table. This one isn't long enough because you have to realize at the bottom of this board, then you have your regular Thundrstone board attached at the bottom half of it. If you're not into the whole siege style of play, you can still enjoy the game using the traditional rules. Guardians have new rules introduced in Root of Corruption. These are like mini-bosses you face before you get to the Thunderstone Bearer. In fact, you can use any Thunderstone Bearer as a Guardian. They're shuffled into the dungeon deck a little higher up than the main boss, and they cannot be chased into the bottom of the deck. They are either defeated or they stay on the board. Guardians even advance into an imaginary rank 0, where they remain until they're defeated. So you'll still end the game if the Thunderstone Bearer reaches rank 1. Additionally, you can't fight the Thunderstone Bearer until the Guardian is defeated. Treasures are also a new feature of Root of Corruption. There are 4 different treasures with 6 cards in all. These get shuffled into the dungeon deck along with the monsters. If you reveal one, you immediately flip another card to get a monster. The treasure is placed under that monster in the hall. Each treasure card has effects for both monsters and players, so the monster with the treasure will be harder to beat, but you will get to take the treasure and use it should you defeat the monster anyway. As an example, the golden hammer adds health to the monster equal to the highest gold value card in the battle. Once the player gets the hammer, it can be equipped to give a +3 physical attack. Or, in the village, it will give you bonus gold equal to the gold value of all the monsters currently in the hall. These are a neat idea, and add some challenge and reward to a standard monster battle. I'd like to see more treasure cards in the future. Let's take a look at a few of the other cards included with Root of Corruption. Here's Elven Waybread. This is one of my favorites. The card adds +2 strength to each of your heroes. There are a lot of strength-sapping monsters in this expansion, so the Waybread comes in really handy. You can also destroy the card to place one hero on top of your deck. Get rid of those lousy Thunderstone shards. The Elven Waybread makes those dead weight in your hands. The Labrys, a battle axe, +5 physical attack, but you need strength 6 to use it. Luckily, you have your Elven Waybread to help you and your heroes out. The Maul. It's an interesting weapon. It actually has a physical attack value of -2, but you also add your hero's strength to your physical attack value. Do the uses of the Elven Waybread never end? The Profaned Hero. These are magic users. They give you a magic attack value and some other useful abilities. They also provide light, which is sweet. At level 1, using this light ability will gain you a curse, but that goes away once you reach level 2. The hysterical villager! You can either use this card to destroy the top card of any hero stack, or destroy the card itself to gain 3 gold. Interesting. Mind Control. Here's a nasty card. You can destroy it to place one monster in the hall in front of another player. That player must enter the dungeon and fight that monster on their turn. Getting tired of always being the one to go in and waste a turn fighting a monster you can't beat? Just get him out of the way. Then make your neighbor do it. The Circle of Protection. I love this card. Not only does it remind me of the old Circle of Protection Red from Magic the Gathering, but it stays in play in front of you and protects you from the next raid, breach, or aftermath effect that you would have had to have dealt with. It does destroy the card, but hey, just go get another one. Elementals. These monsters have different immunities, like magic attack or edged weapons. The bad thing is that some will destroy your hero with the lowest strength as an aftermath, or will go back up to the highest rank in the dungeon on a successful breach. Summoners. These bad guys have a very interesting feature. There is a separate deck of summoned monster cards that goes along with the summoner. Here they are, right here. See this whole stack of cards? Griffin, Suffering Thrall, Torrent Thrall. If you fight the summoner, you draw the top card from this monster deck and fight it instead. In this way, you never know exactly what you're going to be facing when you fight the summoner. The monster, if undefeated, goes to the bottom of the deck, and the summoner goes back into the hall. The next time you'll draw a different monster to face when fighting the summoner. The nice thing is that if you defeat the monster, you get to take both cards. Royal Guards. I hate these guys. Most of them give a strength penalty to your heroes, and some give attack penalties as well. One of them has a -6 strength penalty. Blood Debt. Gives you 5 gold, but if you have 10 gold, you have to destroy the card. I have yet to successfully use this card because every time I draw it, I somehow ended up with 10 gold and had to destroy it. These are just a few of the cards. There are a lot of other interesting ones that give possibilities for some nice combos. I have to say that Root of Corruption is my favorite Thundrstone Advance expansion to date. If the paper mat doesn't bother you, the siege mode is tough and fun. In fact, the whole expansion isn't easy. I like a challenge, and I found it here. Some of the pros are that there's some great challenges and potential combos in this expansion. The co-op play is fun, and I do like the addition of treasures to the game. That Elven Waybread, cool stuff. I don't like the paper map, though. I understand it keeps the cost down, but it is a bit annoying. I just want to thank you for joining me on this edition of the Voice of E Board Game Reviews. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in for my future board game reviews and entertainment news as well. Why not subscribe to my videos? You can do it at many places right here on this very page. If you have any comments or suggestions, just leave them below, or you can contact me at Elliott_Miller@voiceofe.com. That's Elliott_Miller@voiceofe.com. That's Elliott with 2 T's. Don't forget. All right. Thank you.